Hi VC, hi YouTube, it's Rob here with another video. Thanks for joining me. And this video is going to be a response to a video that Ross Goodall did a couple of weeks ago, showing his 10 favourite debut singles, and Richie McCook did a response earlier this week. So I've got quite a healthy 7-inch singles collection, but this is quite challenging because there can be some singles that you think, yeah, that's a debut, and then you do a little bit of research and you find out it wasn't actually the debut single. So I picked out 10 all on 7-inch single, and let's go through them. So the first one I want to show is by a band from Sheffield. It's the Arctic Monkeys, and I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor, from the album Whatever People Say I Am, That's What I'm Not. So the Arctic Monkeys, 2006, my son, he was about 11 or 12, he was raving about the Arctic Monkeys, so I gave them a listen. I really enjoyed Alex Turner's vocal, the sound of the band. We went to see them live, they were great live, and for a couple of years the Arctic Monkeys were the biggest band in the UK. So yeah, a band from Sheffield I'm really fond of. Great debut single, I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor, and as you can see, I pre-ordered this single from HMV and it cost me £1.99. Second single that I want to show, a debut single by Liverpool's finest, Echo and the Bunnymen, The Pictures on My Wall. So this single came out in 1979. There's only 4,000 copies of this single, so it didn't chart. This single doesn't contain the drummer Pete DeFreitas, he'd not joined the band at this point. Les Patterson, Will Sargent and Ian McCulloch, and I could name 10 great singles by Echo and the Bunnymen, and this is the first of many, The Pictures on My Wall by Echo and the Bunnymen. Third single I want to show is by New Order and Ceremony. So I can remember buying this when it came out in 1981, reached number 34 on the charts. And this is pretty soon after the death of Ian Curtis. Went in the studio, recorded the album Movement. This isn't on the album Movement. It's so reminiscent of Joy Division, it's scary, but it's one of my favourite singles by New Order, Ceremony from 1981. Fourth single that I want to show is by Beck, and it's Loser from 1994. So in 1994, I wasn't aware of Beck. I saw him on Top of the Pops, and I think the next day I went out to HMV and picked up this single. And Beck's had a very successful career, had his ups and downs. I like the majority of his albums, but this is certainly my favourite single by him from 1994, Beck and Loser. Fifth single is by a band from Belfast. It's Stiff Little Fingers and Suspect Device. So this didn't chart either, the debut, with Wasted Life on the flip side. It's on Rough Trade Records, and the sleeve's a little bit rough. I was fortunate enough to see Stiff Little Fingers in 1980, and one of my favourite gigs. I love Jake Burns, and certainly one of my favourite punk bands, and a great debut single, Suspect Device. I want to show a band from America, all-girl band who didn't have much success in the UK. It's the Go-Go's, and We Got the Beat from 1980. So the Go-Go's had so much success in America, but in the UK, very little commercial success. This is on Stiff Records. But over the years, I'm getting a little bit of fondness for the Go-Go's, and this is a great debut single from 1980, We Got the Beat. Seventh single I want to show is one of my favourite singles of all time, and a lot of people won't even know this single. It's by Reverend and the Makers from Sheffield and Heavyweight Champion of the World. This was on the UK charts for 25 weeks, reached number 8. And this is just a great record if you're going out on a Friday night and you're full of optimism, you know, you don't know what's going to happen. If you go on YouTube, listen to this track. It's just, as I say, one of my favourite singles of all time. And it's a single that I played all these singles tonight and thoroughly enjoyed them. No more than this one, Heavyweight Champion of the World by Reverend and the Makers from 2007. The 8th single that I want to show, debut single by the Stray Cats and Runaway Boys. So the Stray Cats in 80-81 had 3 great singles, Rock This Town, Stray Cats Strut, and this debut, Runaway Boys. It was funny in the UK because we had a mod revival, but we also had a little bit of a rockabilly revival. And I went out and bought this single when it came out. I still enjoy it now. Runaway Boys from 1980 reached number 10 by the Stray Cats. 2 to go, and another single from 1981, Heaven 17 and We Don't Need This Fascist Groove Thing. Reached number 45 on the UK chart, so wasn't a big hit. It was Martin Ware and Ian Craig Marsh who left the Human League, who went on, of course, to have tremendous success in the early 80s in particular. Heaven 17, I can remember going out, I was 17 myself, going to sort of discotheques and nightclubs, even though I was 17. And Heaven 17 were played a hell of a lot. And I can remember sort of jigging around to We Don't Need This Fascist Groove Thing. Still a debut single that I'm very fond of by Heaven 17, another band from Sheffield. And finally, another band that people outside the UK may be not aware of. Please check them out. The Twang from Birmingham, the debut single Wide Awake from the album Love It When I Feel Like This. And the album that this is from is one of my favourite albums of the 2000s. And this is a great debut single. The Twang from Birmingham sing about sort of lost love, falling in love, not having enough money to get through the weekend, all subjects that I'm an expert on. And I can remember in 2012 I was in a relationship with someone, introduced her to the Twang, and she absolutely loved them. So it does at times make it pretty difficult for me to even listen to the Twang, but they are one of my favourite sort of bands from the 2000s. So great debut single, Wide Awake by the Twang from 2007. So 10 great debut singles. If you've got any comments about the singles I showed, I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching and bye for now.